minerals, because when we're trying to correct imbalances in the body, we need 5 to 7 times more nutrition than what we need to maintain good health.
And it sounds like sounds like it'd be a nice drink. It sounds like it's going to be good.
It's delicious.
And
I drink two
what
of
I
them
would
a day
do, what I would add
and
to it,
boost them all up.
I would add some fresh cannabis leaves to it. You know, I mean, just for, because right now that is this craze. Okay, juicing with cannabis leaves. Now, what it is it's basically giving you a preventative maintenance,
Okay.
and it doesn't get you high at all. So
Okay,
there's
so you mean not cannabis leaves, but maybe hemp?
You can use hemp leaves as
Hemp
well,
leaves,
sure,
'cause
almost
you got
definitely.
Your CBCs and your
CBDs.
and CBGs, and
Yes.
you have all of that in your hemp, minus the THC.
Right.
So
Well,
if you
there's a
were-
little bit, but not much
Not
to even.
much, right? There's not much. But if you're talking about a cannabis specific, well, it's all cannabis sativa, but your indicas strains are higher, tend to be higher in your cannabinoid family.
Yes.
And so for inflammation, pain, not being able to sleep, dealing with releasing if you have an immune system problem and you need a release of the NK cells, the natural killer cells, those are released by the CBDs and CBGs. So
Very cool.
So that automatically releases that. So it enhances the immune system. So, but the thing is that when you're dealing with from leaves and stuff from the actual cannabis plant and not hemp, there would be a certain amount of THC that would be present in that. So, but
Here you go.
for children, I don't. Okay, cool. The for children, I would opt to omit that unless it is something where you are in a state where this has been given the okay. I know that Florida just legalized the ability for a strain called Charlotte's Web to be used for seizures, specifically for seizures. But, it's amazing to me that they would isolate one particular strain and not the other strains, because when you look at, if you're going to deal with separate from hemp, because hemp has all of these cannabinoids, the CBCs, CBGs, CBDs, all of those are all found in hemp. But they're also found in higher amounts in the indica strains. And the granddaddy of them all, foundation of them all, is Afghani. And the Afghani is the highest in the cannabinoid family. And so many of the strains that are indicas that are used for immune system rebuilding, inflammation, pain, inability to sleep, mood disorders, post-traumatic stress syndrome, they fare best with strains that have a higher indica in them than the actual sativa. Like, you don't want to give somebody post-traumatic stress syndrome, anxiety disorders. You don't want them having something like Maui that is so high sativa,
right,
that they go into an anxiety attack.
Sure.
They don't do real well with post-traumatic stress. They start freaking out. It's the THC level is too high. So it's a drag that Florida would just isolate one particular hybrid instead of taking a look at all of the other ones that are available.
Right. Well, I gotta say, Florida, I might receive some flack on this one, but it's all right. You know what? I just gotta say, you know, how many children are you gonna allow to die before you open up your minds and realize that, you know what, just because of you saying Charlotte's Web only when there's other strains out there that are just as good, if not better. You know what? You're telling all these other kids, go ahead and die. Because you know what? I'm sorry. Stanley Brothers, you know what? I'm not a fan of them boys down there in Colorado Springs. And a lot of children are dying. Now, look, I'm going to say one thing. And I've said this to a lot of people. The Stanley Brothers with Charlotte's Web had a damn good marketing plan. And it worked like a charm. Okay, you know, that's business, you know. I mean, that's what business do. You make a marketing plan and you hope that it works. And, you know what? Man, it sure did.
Uh-huh.
So I will give them that. You know, I mean, kudos on that. You know, but I cannot, you know, stand by them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going by the name of God, and you know, charging these outrageous prices, giving, you know, I'm sorry, waiting lists. You know, they're hoarding the strain. I'm sorry.
See, and that is what's going to happen. Is that when you isolate out one particular strain, I'm sorry. What everybody's supposed to be, you know, for those who grow, you know, just grow that particular strain. We were given a variety. You know, not only were we given a variety of herbs and other foods, but cannabis is in the herb kingdom that we were given, and with having receptor sites that specifically process cannabinoids, the anandamides. We were created for those receptors to be triggered by cannabis.
Right.
So, and that is genetically in our DNA makeup. I want to get back to the some of this with these food dyes with ADD and ADHD. You know, you go through the grocery store, you see all of this stuff that is so saturated in food dyes that some of this stuff they're coming up with looks like you practically plug the stuff in. It's so bright, you know, it's electric. There's a commercial on TV for some kind of a cake, and it's a bunch of different layers, and it's a bunch of different colors. And the first time that, I saw that one, it was like, my God, that's disgusting. I wouldn't even, that is like so disgusting. But I happen to know what is in all of that. So just want you to know that when you're looking at things that have the blue dyes in them, they cause kidney tumors. They put them in baked goods, beverages, desserts, candies, cereals, drugs, a lot of other products. They also have a higher incidence of brain gliomas, and those are fast-growing tumors that show up in the brain, glioblastomas, and they're very, very serious, very serious. And you can see that, you know, these are the tumors are something that all of the research continues to bring up with any of them that are in the blue family. The green food dyes tend to affect the bladder, the reproductive systems, and the urinary system. So that's green. Your red food dyes, they suppress the immune system. They're also linked to tumors. They're also linked to hyperactivity, and you find them plentiful in beverages, bakery goods, desserts, candies, cereals. Yellow food dyes, they're loaded into the pet foods. Also, foods, cosmetics, candies, desserts, and those are the yellow ones. They trigger extreme hypersensitivity reactions with children as well as adults that suffer from adult attention deficit. The cancer risks, you are 3 times most likely. The 3 most widely used food dyes, red 40, red 5, yellow 5. Red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6 are contaminated with known carcinogens. Another dye, red 3, has been acknowledged for years by the Food and Drug Administration to be carcinogenic, but it's still in our food supply. And here we go back to the UK, where UK and Europe has banned all of this stuff. And, our FDA says it's really not a problem. It doesn't need to be labeled. We don't need to have food dyes removed from the food. Almost all toxicology studies on dyes that were commissioned, conducted, and analyzed by the chemical industry and academic consultants say that these food dyes should be researched and tested by independent researchers. Well, yeah, okay. More money. More money. Let's have these companies, submit some more money so that they can have biased outcomes on it, kind of like Cheney with Halliburton, private study to a private college in Wyoming that fracking is our need for fossil fuel is never going to go away, and that fossil fuel is the better choice, and that fracking is not going to destroy the wombs of our Mother Earth. That's not a problem, but what would be a problem in their Wyoming private college research for Halliburton concluded that can't use solar energy, because if everyone was to use solar energy, we would drain the sun. And we would go into, could throw us into an ice age. It's like, really? Okay. How stupid you think we are? How stupid do you think we are? Well, it's kind of like the FDA thinks we're stupid also. They don't want to label our food GMO. They don't want to put any type of precautions when there is plenty of research. It's kind of like the prohibition with marijuana. We listen to all of this. Oh, well, we need more research, and we need more research, and we're going to do this, and we're going to charge all this money, and you're going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars because we need more research. You know what, America? We've had plenty of research from Europe, from the UK. Italy, decades ago, had all kinds of research on cannabis and its ability for its health benefits. This more research. Why in America do you why do you think that we have to have our stamp of research on everything? That all of these other scientists in other countries don't do adequate research when they do. And they don't allow the types of poisons in the food and cosmetics and supplements that the United States does. So I think we really need to get off our high horse. I really do. We have plenty of research that proves and validates not only everything in the herb kingdom, but including the herb kingdom with the cannabis plant. So it's just another way that our country wants, let's designate something where we can start pouring some more taxpayers' money into, and let's research things that are already documented, because we want to have our USA stamp on it, as if we think we're safe.
Well, I got to tell you what, if you guys think you're safe, Look up. It's called